The darkness that once slumbered beneath the earth is stirring. The hunter thought he had sealed away the evil centuries ago. But a forgotten burial has unearthed something far worse. As the ancient entity rises, the hunter must confront the past and face a power unlike any he's encountered before. Will he be able to stop it before it consumes everything? The opening scene is set in the aftermath of the harrowing events of Episode 5. The hunter stands alone in a darkened valley, the air thick with an oppressive, unnatural energy. The grave he's staring at is fresh, the soil still, disturbed, and the air vibrates with an eerie hum. The land seems to recoil, rejecting what has been buried. The trees sway unnaturally, their limbs twisting as though they are trying to escape the dark energy emanating from the grave. Something ancient stirs beneath the surface. A heavy fog envelops the valley, dampening all sound. The animals that once roamed freely are now still, their absence louder than the quiet itself. It feels as though the earth itself is holding its breath. The hunter knows something is wrong, something far worse than the grave itself. The ground trembles, as if alive, a warning that the darkness that once ravaged this land is now stirring once more. The hunter swallows hard, his eyes narrowed in recognition. This is the same presence that once nearly destroyed everything he held dear. A presence he thought he had eradicated years ago. He mutters, "Not again." The force that killed countless innocent lives is back, and it's hungry for more. Night falls, bringing with it an unnatural chill that seeps into the hunter's bones. He returns to the grave, drawn by an instinctive need to investigate further. The same oppressive energy fills the air. His heart pounds in his chest as he notices something that makes his blood run cold: footprints around the grave. These are not the footprints of any animal he knows. They are long, narrow, and deep, as if something or someone has been walking around the grave. The earth pulses beneath his feet again. But this time it's different. It's as if the very ground is alive, breathing, reacting to the disturbance. The hunter feels the weight of the situation pressing in on him. The land is rejecting the burial, but it's doing more than that. It's calling to something, a presence that has been dormant for centuries. And that presence is about to wake. The hunter looks around, the fog thickening, the trees bending in unnatural angles. He is no longer just facing a burial, he is facing something much more ancient, much more powerful. The force he fought long ago is returning. And this time, it's more dangerous than ever. As the night deepens, the ground around the grave shakes violently. The hunter's instincts tell him that something is wrong, that the disturbance is much larger than he initially realized. Suddenly, the ground cracks, and a deep, echoing sound reverberates through the valley. From the cracks, an otherworldly presence begins to rise. An ancient entity that has been waiting for the perfect moment to return. The air grows thick with a suffocating energy. The land shudders beneath his feet, as if trying to reject the entity's return, but the force is unstoppable. The hunter watches in horror as the rift in the earth widens, and from within, a shadowy form begins to emerge. The entity is not just some dark force, it is a being of pure malevolence, one that devours memories, identities, and souls. And now, it has awakened. The hunter knows that if he does not act quickly, this entity will consume everything in its path. He races toward the grave, the ground shaking under his feet, as the entity continues to emerge. He can feel the weight of its power as it grows stronger by the second. Time is running out. Suddenly, the shadows shift, and someone appears in the distance. The woman, the chosen one, steps forward, her presence almost serene in the midst of the chaos. Her eyes lock onto the grave, and the golden light that emanates from her begins to pulse. The entity, sensing her light, recoils. For a moment, as though afraid of what she represents, the woman walks toward the grave, her steps slow but deliberate. She doesn't hesitate, even as the darkness swells around her. The golden light inside her flickers and flares, pushing back the entity's growing presence. But the darkness does not yield so easily. The woman's light clashes violently with the entity's power, a spiritual battle unfolding between them. The hunter watches, mesmerized and terrified. The woman is the key. He realizes that she is not merely a victim in this struggle, she is a weapon. The light inside her is the only force strong enough to counter the entity's malevolent grip. But even she is not invincible. He knows that if she falters, the entity will consume them all. The hunter watches as the woman falters, her golden light flickering weakly. The force of the entity is growing stronger by the second, and she struggles to maintain control over the light within her. The ground beneath them shakes violently again, and the air grows thick with an oppressive pressure. The very trees around them twist and writhe as if the land itself is fighting back. The woman stumbles, and the darkness presses in on her. The hunter knows that if she is lost, so is the world. He rushes to her side, trying to pull her away from the growing rift, but the ground shifts beneath him, and the air becomes suffocating. The entity is close, and it is using every ounce of its power to break the woman's resolve. No, the woman whispers, her voice strained. She is still fighting, but she is weakening. Her light flickers again, and for a moment, it seems as though the darkness will overtake her entirely. The hunter grits his teeth. He will not let it happen. He will not lose her. The hunter's mind races. He needs to do something, anything to help her. He knows that her light is the key to sealing the entity away, but she cannot do it alone. He reaches deep into his pouch and pulls out a vial of ancient alchemical oil, a potion that has helped him in past battles. Without hesitation, he pours the oil onto the ground in a circle around them. The liquid glows with a faint blue light, creating a protective barrier against the entity. As the oil spreads across the ground, the golden light inside the woman flares once more, and the darkness recoils, temporarily pushed back by the barrier. The hunter feels a surge of hope. This is their chance. The woman's light is strong, but she needs more than just strength. She needs focus, clarity. He kneels beside her, his voice steady but urgent. Focus on the light within you, he says. Let it guide you. You are stronger than this. The woman's breathing is shallow, her body trembling with the effort of holding back the entity's power. The hunter watches her closely, his hand gently resting on her shoulder as he speaks. You are not alone in this. The light inside you is pure, it will guide us. It is our weapon. The woman nods weakly, her golden light flickering but still strong. With a deep breath, she closes her eyes and focuses. The golden light inside her grows brighter, radiating outward, pushing against the dark presence that surrounds them. The air hums with energy as the woman fights to maintain control. The entity fights back, its dark tendrils trying to pull her into the ground. But with every ounce of her strength, the woman pushes the darkness away. The ground shakes as the rift in reality begins to close slowly. But the entity is not giving up. It screams in rage, its form flickering, trying to break free from the woman's light. The hunter watches in awe as the woman's golden light grows brighter, filling the valley with an almost blinding glow. The air crackles with energy, and the rift continues to close, inch by inch. But the entity is not done yet. It pulls harder, its power growing, trying to force the rift open again. The ground trembles, and the trees sway violently, their roots tearing from the earth as the entity's influence spreads. The hunter feels the weight of the battle. If the woman falters now, the darkness will win. He reaches out, placing his hand on the woman's arm. You have to hold on, he urges. We can't let it win. The woman's body shudders as the strain becomes almost unbearable, but she doesn't stop. She focuses on the golden light inside her, pushing back against the entity's power. It's a battle of wills, light against darkness. The rift trembles one last time, the entity's power pushing harder than ever. The hunter's heart races as he watches the struggle. The woman is strong, but the darkness is ancient, its power nearly overwhelming. The golden light flickers, wavering as if it's about to fade. The hunter steps closer, his resolve hardening. He knows that they can't let up now. The rift must close, or everything they've fought for will be lost. He reaches for the vial of alchemical oil again, pouring the last of it onto the ground. The golden light flares brighter, and for a moment, it seems as if the darkness will overpower it. But the woman's voice rings out, strong and clear. "I won't let you take us." With a final surge of strength, the woman pushes the entity back, the golden light blazing with a fierce intensity. The rift shudders, its edges closing in on themselves. The darkness screams, but it is no match for the light that now fills the valley. The entity's power begins to dissipate, pulled back into the earth from which it came. The ground cracks one final time, but the rift is sealed. The darkness is pushed back, and the valley falls silent once more. The woman collapses to the ground, her light flickering faintly but still alive. The hunter kneels beside her, his heart pounding with relief. "We did it," he whispers, his voice hoarse. "The battle is over for now, but he knows this is only the beginning." The valley is silent, but the tension in the air lingers. The hunter helps the woman to her feet, his hand steady on her shoulder. She looks exhausted, her golden light now barely aglow. The weight of the battle has taken its toll, but she is still standing. "What now?" she asks, her voice weak but filled with determination. The hunter looks around, his eyes narrowing as he surveys the valley. The rift may be sealed, but the darkness is still out there. He knows that this fight is far from over. The entity has been driven back, but there are others like it. "We move forward," the hunter replies. "We find out who or what is behind this, and we stop it. Together." The journey ahead is uncertain. The hunter and the woman know that they have only just begun to uncover the full extent of the darkness that threatens their world. The entity they just defeated was only one piece of the puzzle. The true battle has yet to come. They begin their trek through the valley, the weight of the world heavy on their shoulders. The valley is scarred from their battle, but they are alive, and that is what matters most. The woman's golden light may be dim, but it is still there. It is their hope, their weapon. Together, they will face whatever comes next. Days pass as the hunter and the woman travel through the wilderness, the air still heavy with the remnants of the battle they fought. The land seems almost alive, as if it's recovering from the wounds inflicted during the battle. Despite the rift being sealed, the hunter can feel the presence of the entity still lingering. It hasn't gone away. It's just waiting, biding its time. The woman's golden light flickers faintly, struggling to hold its power. She is weakened, exhausted from the fight, but still determined. The hunter keeps a close watch on her, knowing that her strength is tied to their survival. They must keep moving, keep pushing forward. The world is not safe yet. The terrain becomes more hostile as they move deeper into the wilderness. The ground grows, uneven, the trees denser, and the air thickens with the stench of decay. It's as if they are being drawn into a place that no living soul should enter. The hunter's instincts tell him that they are walking into a trap, but they have no choice. They must continue the journey whatever awaits. Them at the end is the key to ending this darkness once and for all. The deeper they travel, the more the land feels like it's closing in on them. The trees seem to twist and writhe, their branches reaching toward them like the hands of a forgotten god. The air grows thick, heavy with an ancient power that hums beneath the surface. The hunter feels the weight of it pressing down on him, the sensation of being watched. He knows they are not alone. The woman walks beside him, her steps slower now, her golden light flickering weakly. The strain of the battle has taken its toll on her, and she is no longer the radiant force she once was. She is a flickering ember. But even so, it is enough to push back the darkness that threatens to consume them both. The hunter knows that if she loses this light, all is lost. They arrive at a clearing, the trees parting as if to reveal something, hidden beneath the ground. The hunter's heart skips a beat as he looks ahead. Before them stands an ancient temple, its stone walls cracked and weathered with age. The symbols carved into the walls are unlike anything he has ever seen before. There is an energy here, a power that feels both familiar and terrifying. This is where it began, the hunter mutters, his voice tinged with recognition. The woman looks at him, her brow furrowed. What do you mean? He pauses, his eyes scanning the temple. This is the place where the entity first awakened. It's the source of the darkness. The woman steps forward, her light pulsing faintly. Then we have to go in. The temple stands before them, ancient and imposing, its stone walls covered in mysterious runes that seem to shimmer in the fading light. The air around the temple is thick, with a palpable sense of dread. The hunter feels the weight of history pressing down on him, as though the very earth is holding its breath. He knows that entering this temple will not be easy. The entity's power is tied to this place, and whatever secrets lie within could either help them end this darkness or doom them forever. The woman, despite her exhaustion, steps forward. Her golden light flickers brightly, guiding her steps as she approaches the entrance. The hunter follows closely behind, his hand resting on the hilt of his weapon, ready for whatever they may find inside. The entrance is dark, the shadows within thick and oppressive. As they step inside, the temperature drops, and the air becomes suffocating, heavy with an ancient energy that seems to pulse with life. The walls are covered in carvings, depictions of strange creatures and forgotten gods, their eyes watching as they move deeper into the temple. The darkness seems to close in around them, but they press on. Inside the temple, the air grows colder with each step they take. The walls are covered in strange markings, symbols that seem to shift and change as they walk past. The woman's golden light flickers in the expansion, darkness, casting eerie shadows that dance on the walls. The deeper they go, the more oppressive the atmosphere becomes. It feels as though the very temple itself is alive, watching them. The hunter's instincts scream that they are not alone. The entity's presence is here, hidden in the people, shadows, waiting. He can feel it like a weight pressing against his chest, threatening to crush him. His grip tightens on his weapon, his senses alert. Every step is careful, calculated. He knows that if they make a mistake, they could be trapped forever. They arrive at a vast chamber, the ceiling lost in shadow. In the center of the room stands a massive stone altar, covered in dust and centuries of neglect. The air is thick with the scent of decay, the remnants of a long-forgotten ritual. The woman steps forward, her light pulsing in the darkness. As she approaches the altar, the ground beneath them begins to rumble. The hunter looks around, his eyes scanning for any sign of danger. "This is it," he says. "This is where it all began." The woman looks at him, her eyes filled with determination. "Then, this is where it will end." The chamber trembles as the woman approaches the altar. Her golden light grows brighter, her power surging as though reacting to something within the temple. The air hums with energy, the vibrations coursing through the floor beneath them. The hunter can feel it, the temple is alive, reacting to their presence. He steps forward, his eyes fixed on the altar. There is something powerful here, something that the entity has been protecting for centuries. The darkness stirs once again, a force of pure malevolence that feels as though it is watching them, waiting for the right moment to strike. The woman's golden light flares, pushing the darkness back. But it is not enough. The entity's presence is growing stronger by the second. The hunter knows that they are running out of time. Suddenly, the ground shakes violently. The walls of the temple crack, and the air fills with an overwhelming force. The altar begins to glow with a dark, pulsing energy, and the woman gasps. "It's here," she whispers. "The entity, it's waking up." The hunter's heart races. They are no longer just fighting a force of darkness, they are facing the source of all the evil that has plagued this world. The final battle is about to begin. The altar begins to glow with an eerie, pulsing light. The woman's golden light flickers, struggling to hold its ground against the dark energy that is rising from the altar. The air becomes suffocating, heavy with a palpable sense of dread. The hunter's grip on his weapon tightens, his every instinct telling him that this is it, the moment they've been waiting for. The walls of the temple crack, and the ground beneath them trembles. The entity's power surges, pushing against the protective barrier the woman's light has created. The room fills with an oppressive force, a darkness so thick it feels as though it is crushing the very air from their lungs. "I can't hold it much longer," the woman says, her voice strained. The hunter looks around, his mind racing for a solution. The entity is almost fully awake, and if they don't act now, it will consume them all. He looks at the woman, his eyes filled with determination. "We can't stop now. We need to push it back." The woman nods, her body trembling as she struggles to maintain control. The golden light inside her flickers weakly, but she doesn't give up. She is the last line of defense. Without her, the darkness will overwhelm them. The air grows heavier with each passing second as the entity's power surges. The altar glows brighter, the dark energy pulsating with an unnatural force. The woman's golden light flickers, her body trembling as the weight of the entity's presence presses against her. She struggles to hold on, her breath shallow, but the hunter can see the fear in her eyes. She is reaching her limit. The hunter knows they cannot wait any longer. He steps forward, his voice firm and commanding. "Focus on the light inside you. Let it guide you. We have to finish this." The woman nods, her face pale but determined. She closes her eyes, focusing on the light within her, trying to push back the darkness. For a moment, the rift between the light, the dark seems to balance, neither force gaining the upper hand. But the altar's energy continues to rise, its power pushing the woman's light to its limit. The hunter reaches out to her, his hand resting on her shoulder. "We can do this. Together." The woman opens her eyes, and for a moment, the golden light within her flares, brighter than it has ever been. She channels every ounce of her strength into the light, and the dark energy recoils, but the altar continues to pulse. The battle is far from over. The room trembles violently as the woman's light grows brighter, a beacon against the encroaching darkness. The altar crackles with dark energy, its power trying to overpower the woman's light. The air is thick with tension, as if the very fabric of reality is being torn apart. "I can't hold it," the woman gasps, her body trembling. "The light inside me is fading." The hunter steps forward, placing his hands on the altar. "We need to end this. Now." The woman's golden light flares once more, a burst of power that pushes back the dark energy. The entity screams, its voice like 1,000 whispers, but it is not enough. The hunter knows they need more. They need to seal the entity away forever. The altar begins to crack, the dark energy pulsing like a beating heart. The woman's light flares again, but this time, it is joined by the hunter's energy. Together, they push against the altar, the dark energy recoiling in fear. The walls of the temple groan, as though they are being torn apart from the inside. The ground shakes beneath them, but the hunter and the woman continue to press forward. The woman's light burns brighter, pushing back the entity's power. The altar cracks one last time, and with a final surge of energy, the light floods the room, overpowering the darkness. The entity lets out a final scream, its presence dissipating into the air. For a moment, everything is silent. The darkness is gone, the altar is shattered, and the light within the woman flickers one last time before it fades. The temple falls silent. The golden light in the woman's chest has dimmed, but she is still standing. The hunter, breathless from the battle, looks around. The entity has been sealed away for now, but the scars remain. The temple is in ruins, the walls cracked and the altar shattered. The woman collapses to her knees, exhausted. The hunter rushes to her side, his eyes scanning for any sign of life. "You did it," he says, his voice hoarse. "We did it." The woman smiles weakly, her eyes filled with exhaustion but relief. "It's not over. The entity is gone for now. But others will come. We must be ready." The hunter nods. The battle may be over, but the war is just beginning. The world has changed, and they must face whatever darkness lies ahead together. With the temple in ruins behind them, the hunter and the woman leave the chamber, their steps heavy but determined. The journey is far from over. The entity may have been sealed, but there are other forces at play in the world. They are just one part of a much larger battle. As they make their way into the wilderness, the hunter feels the weight of the future on his shoulders. The darkness is not gone. It waits, and they must face it together. The woman's golden light may have dimmed, but it has not faded. It is still there, a beacon of hope in the darkness. They may have won today, but tomorrow is another battle. The war for the world's soul is far from over. The day after their victory, the world feels different. The battle they fought in the ancient temple has left them scarred, but alive. The air still carries the remnants of the darkness they faced together. The hunter and the woman walk in silence, the weight of their experience hanging heavily between them. The valley is quiet now, but the land feels far from healed. It seems as though even the earth itself is recovering from the forces unleashed here. The woman's golden light flickers weakly, still dim but present, a reminder of the power they've barely tapped into. Though the entity is sealed away, the hunter knows the darkness isn't truly gone. The woman, despite her exhaustion, looks at him, her eyes filled with a mixture of relief and anxiety. She knows the truth, as does he. The battle against the darkness was never meant to be a one-time thing. It is only the beginning of a much larger war. They walk together into the wilderness, unsure of where the next step will lead, but knowing that the fight is far from over. "We need to find the others," the woman says, her voice steady but tired. "There are more forces out there, and we can't face them alone." The hunter nods, his eyes scanning the horizon. "We'll find them. Together." The journey takes them deeper into the wilderness. The terrain grows more treacherous as they move away from the valley and toward unknown territories. The air is thick with an unsettling energy. They are being watched. The hunter's instincts tell him they are not alone, but the presence he feels is different, far more subtle than the force they just fought. It lingers on the edge of his awareness, watching, waiting. As they travel, the woman grows weaker. Her golden light is flickering more frequently, her strength waning. She pushes forward, determined, but the toll of their battle is catching up with her. The hunter, ever vigilant, keeps a watchful eye on her, but he knows there is little they can do in the wilderness. They need to reach civilization, find allies who can help. "I can feel it," the woman murmurs, her voice hoarse. "The darkness. It's not over. It's still here. Somewhere." The hunter glances at her, his jaw tight. He feels it too, the ever-present shadow that clings to the world, never truly gone. As night falls, they set up camp in a dense forest. The trees here are ancient, their bark twisted and gnarled, their branches heavy with the weight of time. The stars above are barely visible through the thick canopy. The only light they have comes from the flickering fire and the faint glow of the woman's golden light. She's barely able to keep it alive now. The hunter tends to the fire, his mind preoccupied with the road ahead. They cannot stop here. They need to move quickly, find the answers they seek. The entity might have been sealed, but the world is far from safe. There are still other forces, other dark entities lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. As the fire crackles, the woman watches him from across the camp. Her eyes, though dimmed, are filled with quiet determination. She knows what lies ahead, and so does he. The world is not what it once was. They are not just survivors, they are the last line of defense. Together, they must prepare for what is coming. The next morning, they continue their journey. The forest now thick and heavy around them. The shadows seem to lengthen as the day progresses. As though something is watching them, the woman's light is flickering again, and the hunter knows they cannot keep going at this pace. They need to find a way to restore her power fast. They come across a small village by midday, nestled in a valley surrounded by mountains. It's a quiet, peaceful place, its inhabitants living simple lives, unaware of the dark forces threatening the world. The hunter is cautious but knows that they cannot afford to be picky. They need rest and information. The village elder greets them with kindness, though there's a sense of unease in the air. The hunter explains their situation, and the elder nods solemnly. There are forces in these lands that you do not understand, the elder warns. The darkness you speak of is ancient, and it is not something that can be easily defeated. It has lived here for centuries. The hunter listens intently, trying to gather as much information as possible. The elder mentions an old temple to the north, said to be home to powerful artifacts that could help restore balance to the world. The woman looks up at him, her golden light flickering with renewed hope. The village elder's words echo in the hunter's mind as they prepare to leave. The journey to the northern temple will not be an easy one. The road is dangerous, filled with creatures born of the darkness that still haunts the world. The hunter knows that they will face more obstacles, but they have no choice. The woman's strength is fading, and the temple is their best chance to find the answers they need. The journey north is grueling. They travel for days, the weather growing colder and the terrain more difficult. The air is thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the sound of their footsteps on the frozen earth. The woman grows weaker with each passing day, her golden light flickering like a candle in the wind. One night, as they make camp, the darkness presses in on them. The shadows around their fire grow long and distorted, the air thick with a heavy, oppressive energy. The hunter watches the flickering light of the fire, his hand gripping his weapon. He knows something is out there, something watching them. Suddenly, a shriek pierces the night. The woman gasps, her light flaring with sudden intensity. The hunter stands, his eyes scanning the shadows. Something is coming. He can feel it. The creature emerges from the darkness, a massive, shadowy beast, its form shifting like liquid smoke. Its eyes glow with an unnatural red light, and its teeth gleam like daggers in the firelight. The hunter takes a step forward, drawing his weapon. He can hear the woman's breath quickening behind him, her golden light flickering as she struggles to maintain control. "Stay back," he warns her, his voice low and steady. "I'll handle this." The creature lunges forward, its massive claws swiping through the air with incredible speed. The hunter leaps to the side, narrowly avoiding the attack. He strikes back, his blade cutting through the creature's shadowy form, but it only seems to shift and reassemble. The battle rages on, the creature moving faster than the hunter can react. Each strike feels like it's cutting through smoke, the beast reforming after every blow. The woman, standing at the edge of the camp, watches with wide eyes, her golden light flickering desperately. She knows that if the hunter falls, they are both lost. The hunter pushes forward, his instincts taking over as he dodges and strikes, trying to find a way to weaken the beast. With a swift move, he catches it off guard, slashing through its form with precision. The creature howls in pain, its body momentarily dissipating into shadow. With one final strike, the hunter drives his blade deep into the creature's heart. The beast lets out a deafening screech before collapsing into a pile of shadowy tendrils, which quickly vanish into the night. The silence that follows is deafening. The woman exhales, her light flickering weakly but still holding steady. The hunter stands over the remains of the creature, his breath coming in ragged gasps. The battle has left him exhausted, but there is no time for rest. The darkness is relentless, and it will continue to chase them. He turns to the woman, his eyes filled with determination. "We keep moving," he says, his voice firm. "We can't stop now. The temple is close. We have to reach it." The woman nods, her eyes filled with a quiet strength. Together, they will face whatever comes next. The darkness is still out there, but they will not back down. The darkness is relentless, but the fight is far from over. The hunter and the woman are about to uncover the next piece of the puzzle, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Subscribe, hit the like button, and stay tuned. The next chapter in this journey is just beginning.